Actually, this is something close to my heart. Whenever I compare, and the whole India story, there are many versions of the India story or the progress, etc. But telecommunication is a shining example of that. Right now, we are probably on the 14th year of technically 14th or 15th year that we've been using smartphones. But then we also overcame all the barriers as a country for a faster adoption.
What has changed the most since you have started working here in HMD?
Well, we believe a lot more in
Mhm.
ourselves.
Welcome to Icons Behind Brands. Hi, this is Devleena, your host, and I'm excited to welcome our guest for today, Mr. Tathagat Jena, who is the head of marketing DTC Ecom at HMD. So join us as we delve deep into Tathagat's journey and insights. A very warm welcome to you, Tathagat, on Icons Behind Brands.
Thank you, Devleena. It's a pleasure.
I would love to know about your journey and background so far. If you just let us know about your professional journey, I think that will be a great start to, have this conversation.
Well, essentially, I'll keep it short. I've gone with the flow. It has morphed from one thing to the other. When I came into, when I started out with advertising initially in Calcutta and to Delhi, and worked in a few prominent, advertising agencies. The comms was really comms insights, consumers was really at the core of it. Then I dabbled a bit with, luxury retail before,
Okay.
finally moving onto Samsung, which was probably the longest stint of my career and the most exciting one, where we really launched, Samsung back then, early 2008, into the gigantic force that it is today. So launching
Yes.
that brand, especially on the mobile division, and really, and that was a time where even smartphone was not in existence, the word. So
True.
from then to now, it has become an integral part of our lives over the last 16 years. That was a phenomenal journey, and really learned a lot from that culture and progress. And then I also worked a little bit with Transsion, which has got multiple brands in India right now, all very successful brands like Itel, Techno, and Infinix.
How does it feels like? I mean, you have worked on your own as a consultant, corporate, and then your own, and then again coming to corporate. How was the shift? Like, corporate season one and corporate season two. What was the change inside you, within you as a leader?
One, yes, one tends to be okay more on the EQ side. One is that it lets you see the other side, lets you develop more patience, because when you're on your own and you're not have the seat backing you, you really got to do the hustle yourself,
True.
and you also tend to look at all the nitty gritties, all the small things also yourself.
True.
You don't really, initially starting out, you don't have a team on yourself, so that makes you more patient, more perseverant, more resilient, maybe. You tend to develop a slightly thicker skin, if I may put it bluntly like that. And then you actually become a better person for it. And then essentially, growing in corporate is all about, you know without trying to copy paste, but at least trying to distill the essence of your learning, because your learning may have happened at a different organization, in a different context, in a different scale. But how to really distill the essence of that and try to apply uh, yourself in present organization is what really matters. And then you're being fair also, because on your CV, that's what you're getting hired for, your
Correct.
experience and your learning. So the best way that you can put that use is ultimately what matters.
True. True. Tathagat, want to know about like around 2 decades of experience in brand management and in different industries. You have explored industries like automobile to telecom, fast food, mobile handset, and IT. So, how have you adapted your strategies across diverse industries like this? If you just share, your experience from your expertise.
Well, it's more, uh, I mean, I would say it's more fortune, and it's more the kind of companies that I've been associated with. The initial part that you talked about, let's say, automobile, which was Maruti, which was
Mhm.
very early in my career, and
Okay.
essentially I was the agency, managing one of the
Person.
brands like
Mm-hmm.
Alto, which
Okay.
was exciting very early into the career. So really, and that was the small car revolution just after it came after, Maruti 800. So learning the, brass tack of it, learning with a great set of clients, we were, supremely professional. That kind of, helped, and it also helped that, I have a natural, inclination towards, automobiles, whether I'm working on the
Okay.
category or not.
Okay.
So that kind of, helps that. And as well, telecom, despite the diversity in my portfolio, is telecom, or let's say devices or tech, has really been the one of the mainstays, because even though I have, been in three companies over the last 16 years, is essentially been into the tech space. I would say that, it is constantly evolving.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to be a lot more, genuinely be interested in technology to be really able to enjoy and survive, irrespective of what your function is. Your function could be logistics to customer care to marketing, but a basic level of interest in technology is what makes this, journey worthwhile.
Uh, Tathagat, help me understand on this. How does the telecommunication industry that envision the future, considering the evolution of technology which is happening and a constant consumer behavior change? So, how do you see this change?
Actually, this is something close to my heart. Whenever I compare, and the whole India story, there are many versions of the India story or the progress, etc. But telecommunication is a shining example of that.
Okay.
And few things, changed. Of course, the devices, came in. Right now, we are probably on the 14th year of, technically 14th or 15th year that we've been, using smartphones. But then we also overcame all the, barriers as a country for a faster adoption. We all know that around 2000, 16 or 17, where, there are many things that happened, but also along with that, the whole, the data revolution that really happened, and we are, the cheapest data providers in the
Okay.
world, and which really opened up the gateway, which not only helped us as an industry, it helps multiple industries, from streaming to payments to all the industries really had a pipeline to do that. So that really 2016-17, I would still count as one of the, watershed years of telecom, because it provided access. It provided
Mm-hmm.
access to millions and millions who were either, just outside that boundary. Then, of course, the whole thing of digital payments.
Okay.
Now, but whatever that we see, cash is completely gone out of the system, even from
Yes.
the lowest strata to the upper. I mean, you can literally forget your wallet at home and go and do a 2 day, work trip in a different city and come back
Come back.
without needing the cash, and this, which was unthinkable. And if you really look at it, many of the developed countries in the world, they still are amazed by it, and that revolution is still to, reach there. Call it US or Europe, they're still, stuck on the, the card business. So that is something which is really, fascinating, and it's good that, that is also reaching shores, beyond India. The other thing that really happened is that something which is, COVID has really been a not so nice event in our world history, but it kind of accelerated the whole digital, adoption
Yeah. Yeah.
in our country,
Correct.
albeit in a forced one. So what happens is that, it could have come from any needs, from too much time at people's hand, not being able to move out, to something as basic as education. Schools were shut, so, the devices, whether it is laptops or any form of screen or tablets or phones, that became the primary and the only option for education. So
Right.
these two events, both in 2016-17 and then in 2021, has provided
Mhm.
us and has already gotten India into a state where almost more than half of the population is having a smartphone and ready to go the whole the digital journey,
Yeah.
really bodes well. And looking at the future, yes, everybody talks about AI and Gen AI, and how it is possibilities across careers, jobs, etc. While it is still the buzzword, but the technology will really help even our industry as well, because ultimately that there is a challenge to how much hardware can really improve. Hardware
Okay.
takes a little longer to improve, so it boils down to how much more intuitive we can make the customer experience. And
Okay.
AI will go a lot way in improving that, making it more intuitive. So
Mhm.
that really will provide another sort of area of a fodder of innovation, which will help all brands in this category for the next 2 to 3 years.
We are talking about digital and technology. I also want to understand, Tathagat, over last few years, how have you seen, how has the telecom industry, specifically HMD, transition from traditional marketing space, traditional marketing methods to, the modern and digital marketing space and strategies?
Well, I won't only put a HMD lens to it, but then typically I have seen digital really permeating the marketing domain, and getting a increasing a larger share of the marketing budgets per se. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
right from the time of, let's say, 2011-12, where digital kind of was kind of a tick mark, kind of a tokenism, that you do something for Meta, Facebook, etc., and that's be it. I think what it's at the heart of it is really the ability to uh, operate at the scale that you want,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of, and that comes with targeting. So not everything can be really spray and pray, or blast. So it allowed a lot of new companies, a lot of D2C companies, a lot of small emerging brands to really adopt digital as you are scaling up. Let's say you are a small business only operating in Kormongla, so you cannot, and digital will be your only means to go and talk to your relevant consumers. That really helped the whole digital adoption. Secondly, marketeers across began to understand the kind of, well, we are forever talking about a cookieless future, but then
Right.
the whole concept of being to target the exact precise cohorts that you would want to, with a lot more levels of targeting possible in digital. Naturally, digital is right now getting probably the lion's share of the marketing budgets across categories, not only our tech categories, even into other categories as well. Digital is doing that because the consumers are spending the maximum time there. So the way to reach consumers is via the multiple streams and the multiple avenues which they are present. You are able to target them more precisely and at the scale that you would want. So it is already, it's already there. Now, in terms of the next stage, what I would say is that marketeers have also understood that the whole concept of, whether you call it a circle or a funnel, etc., marketeers are more aware of uh, that whichever stage of the funnel, whether it is upper, middle, lower, that you are investing, ultimately, it's not that a campaign period gets over and then it is done with, because it's the same campaign data, it's the same campaign pool, or the consumers that you are trying to remarket again, looking at their behavior, that who did what,
Yeah.
who took what action basis your digital marketing. So it is a continuum. It is not a campaign A ends and a campaign B starts, and with a clean break. It is
Mm-hmm.
always the continuum that is digital. So I think the next stage is really what will determine that, when you embrace digital in your marketing efforts, in your CRM efforts, in your outreach programs, in your loyalty programs, etc., what will matter is that how zealously, how carefully that you built your own customer data platform. and
Okay.
how really are you really what's your vision for that, and then ultimately what do you want to do with it.
So, Tathagat, as per you, what is your idea? Like, I mean, it is always a good idea to keep your consumers database in your platform somewhere, maybe in your within your community or something like that. That is somewhere, marketers should focus.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. So your data, your first party data is really gold mine. Take it on a smaller example. Somebody like really we have talked about multiple retail formats and hypermarts and supermarts and everything coming up, and but your local neighborhood grocer with whom you have a relationship with,
Mm-hmm.
everybody predicted that, okay, his what will that person do, in the face of so much of onslaught. That person will probably, shut down his business. Has he shut down his business? No. He has found ways. He has become more innovative. He is still
Hmm.
flourishing despite all the things that
Correct.
is happening. If you
True.
really look at it, why is he flourishing? Is he able to give, better offers than what is probably, available at a supermarket? No, because he knows his customers.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
May be operating with 250 customers, but
Mm-hmm.
probably which are his high net worth customers. But then he really looks after them, and
Correct.
just supersize that theory into brands.
What leadership strategies have you found most effective in encouraging your team members and collaborating within your team with diverse skills and different backgrounds? So how do you do that?
At a leadership level, let's say you sometimes have you deal with a lot of information, which some information are for a certain group and some information are for a certain group. So you need to balance that, that need to know information, which is a responsibility as you grow up. But at the same time, uh, on an everyday basis, maintaining transparency and accessibility is probably, which you inculcate into your own behavior, is probably at the heart of it.
Mhm.
If when people are interacting with you, you may not interact with all your team members all the time, but whenever you are, as long as they get a feeling of accessibility and transparency, which kind of makes the job easier. We all have somewhere, we none of us, I would say, will be digital natives. Somewhere we learned the ropes, either from our juniors or
Mhm.
from our agencies, or some
Yeah,
such
correct.
people who have helped us, right? Back in 2013, 14, none of us were that proficient. We have usually learned it like that. So uh, that's what I always say, that if you hire people who are really good, then you would actually learn from them. A lot of reverse learning and reverse mentoring can also happen.
Okay, so
Okay.
we are moving towards a section called rapid fire round. It allows our viewers and listeners to know you as a person a little more. And the rules are you need to answer in one word or as minimum word as possible. So are we good to go, Tathagat, here?
Should I be nervous?
Not at all.
Okay, go right ahead,
Yeah, it's
Devleena.
so much fun. Yeah. Tathagat, tell me, what is your favorite age so far?
40.
What is your favorite work memory?
Very, very, very difficult, honestly. This one will, and it will not do justice, at least speaking in a forum about this, placing one above the, others. It's very hard, this one.
Lovely. What has changed the most since you have started working here in HMD?
Well, we believe a lot more in
Mhm.
ourselves.
What advice would you give to an employee who is, it's their first day on their first day of work?
Go meet people, smile, don't try to remember the names.
If you could not work in this industry, what profession would you pursue?
I have always wanted to be a sports journalist.
Oh, lovely. That's a very different angle. Yeah.
Totally, yeah, because I feel that irrespective of compensation, pay, lifestyle,
Mhm.
this is something which I would do for free. If and somebody if pays me for that, it will be on top of the world. I would go and cover as many sports as possible.
What would you change about yourself if given a chance?
Become more fitter.
When are you most productive?
Morning. I would say morning, the fresh mind is the best thing to be productive.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
Possibly become less aggressive.
So, with this, we are out of the rapid fire round. And before I wind up this conversation, I want you to talk for our viewers. A lot of them are aspiring to become a marketing professional. So, what is your advice for any aspiring marketing professional on their way?
One word advice would be find good things to read.
Okay.
And so if you read and the others aren't, it could be your secret weapon.
Winning edge. Wow. Lovely. So, I think it was a wholesome conversation and totally fulfilling. So, thank you for being here. And it was amazing talking to you.
Pleasure, absolutely, Devleena. It was indeed a great conversation, and I really enjoyed speaking with you. And hopefully, whoever watches it, the viewers, they can take away something.
Lovely.
Yeah, that would mean a lot to me.
So, business folks, how was the video? I'm sure कि आपको ये वीडियो बहुत ही insightful and informative लगा होगा. Let us know in the comment section which part of the video you loved the most. हम ऐसे ही इंडिया के टॉप बिजनेस ब्रांड्स आपके साथ शेयर करते रहते हैं. If you like our effort, we would appreciate by liking and sharing it. And please do not forget to subscribe our YouTube channel, Icons Behind Brands. That's all for today. I'm Devleena Neogi, signing off until next time.